So regulated devotional service transcends from the platform of Vaidhi Bhakti to the stage of Ragatmika Bhakti. Or Vaidhi Bhakti transcends from sadhana stage to Ragatmika stage. So this natural evolution is a very beautiful principle of the blossoming of Krishna consciousness. Vaidhi Bhakti is regulated, prescribed regulated devotional service. And this evolution from sadhana to the Ragatmika stage is basically the intensification of bhakti, the going in depths of the bhakti. So the process of devotional service begins with regulations, rules and regulations, prescribed devotional service. Now, prescribed devotional service very much starts from the level of activities being pursued with a great amount of struggle to remain determined, to remain enthusiastic, to remain patient. There is a great amount of struggle to hold on, to cling on. So the energy to do all these three, many times this energy comes after great efforts, and this energy is coming from outside sources. This energy is coming from outside sources. So this energy may come from association. Oh, no, the association, this energy may come from association. Or that energy will come drop by drop with a great amount of struggle and stretch. So in the preliminary stages, the most important factor is activities. And that's why one is, it is being called as rules and regulations and prescriptions and prohibitions. Now, activities may tend to go mechanical. Activities may tend to become mechanical. The answer which is given is that, okay, never mind, go on. So slowly, one starts depending, slowly, what starts developing is a stable attraction. And this starts the beginning of the blossoming of Ragatmika stage. And also attraction is like a pull. Attraction is like a pull. In our case, our movement is by a push. It's not a pull, it's a push. Devotees are pushing us. My dear Prabhu, please behave yourself. So the push, is it not? And we are being pushed. Okay, everybody is doing so much seva. Why don't you also do something? It's a push. And then, so if you don't pay easy, we get a call. Oh, my dear Prabhu, or we get a message which is showing that okay, the project needs so much. Children are waiting with empty plates. Please give some donation. So the push. That there is a push. So there is a push. There's only wrong with this push. So this push is not bad, but the point is that that's how it is. So that's how the bhakti starts initially. Is it not? It's a push. And so sometimes we are pushing ourselves, and many times we're getting pushed by the devotees, like that. And so that's devotional service. So many times, in our stage, what happens is that okay, suppose we own up a service. So we own a service because we got some inspiration with the association and all that. So some external energy was pumped in through the association and owned up the service, And later we realize what we had done, Now you have to stick on to that because you owned it up, So now there's great amount of struggle. But then you have to take it up. Is it not? That's how bhakti starts. But then we will see this inward pull develops, that is attraction. So such a devotee, may not just want to hear because he has to feel something in a sadhana card to save his face, and okay, everybody's watching, and let me have a basic, let me have a basic face value, Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good to be a failure, fail grade, D grade candidate, at least, at least some basic, some basic, B performance or A minus performance, something like that. Is it not? Right. So that's the point. So, the attraction means what? And in the case of attraction, one may not require this external setting. One would love to hear about Krishna. One would love to do seva. That attraction starts developing. So rather, this external arrangement is actually giving support to the internal attraction. See, Ragatmika is also like a plant. It's like a plant which is blossoming. So many of our so many of our Vaidhi principles Vaidhi principles and Ragatmika principles, all are sadhana principles. So many of the Vaidhi principles, they are acting as a fence, as a protection. When the plant is very small, one may have to support it, by probably giving a stick to it. One has to support it. It's very small. The creeper is very small. The plant is very small. So we will see in the initial stage of bhakti, it's not that we don't have attraction. Right from the beginning, a person has some attraction towards Krishna. Unless there is some attraction towards Krishna, one cannot move on it, right? So there is some attraction, but it's very tender, it's very fragile, it gets covered time and again. Sometimes it uncovers and you feel, okay, I should do Krishna dance. Like that. So the whole process of Vedic Bhakti is to protect it and grow it, nourish it. So what grows? What grows is this intrinsic attraction for Krishna. That is the point. So in the Vedic Bhakti, the devotee is acting on the instructions, external instructions given by the Shastras and the Guru. Now, Ragatmika Bhakti, what is happening is that the devotee is acting on inspiration. That inspiration is coming from within. So one may say, oh, so generally when we hear about Ragatmika Bhakti, it becomes a very exciting proposal. We act on inspiration. Oh, very nice. So the inspiration is different from mentally diseased situation. Our case is a mentally diseased situation. Is it not? Our case is being enslaved by the mind, like that. So that inspiration, so therefore our heart has to be purified drastically before the stage of Ragatmika. That's why one does not, a sadhaka is not encouraged to take shelter of, or is not encouraged to actually think in terms of Ragatmika lines. Although Ragatmika lines do exist. So this basically concept should be faith giving to us that actually bhakti is not a drag all the time. No, it is going to become an intrinsic motion, self-propelled motion, or you can say auto-propelled motion actually in due course of time. But you may see, although there are devotees where they have auto-propelled motion, but still they try to ensure an external energy engine also, so that just in case the motion stops, like that. So you will see this sincerity of a devotee. Where do we find this? We can find this so many places. Vyasadeva, you see auto-propelled motion. Vyasadeva auto-propelled motion. So he had inspiration to preach, he had inspiration to serve Krishna. And therefore he came up with a lot of innovative ways of how more and more people can be attracted to Krishna. And then he saw that, okay, and then he realized that, okay, I can do better service than this. I think I'm missing something in my service. So basically his despondency that, okay, something is lacking and his conclusion of incompleteness is again a sign of his auto-propelled motion. So he did one wonderful terrific service, and then he is thinking that, okay, it seems that things can be done higher. You see, and that means I have not done a good job. What is missing? What is missing? Auto-propelled engine actually. And he could himself realize that what is missing is direct glorification of Krishna. Bhagavatam is not yet come. But then he didn't stop on that. He didn't say that, okay, now I'll just sit down and write Bhagavatam, because although he could conclude himself, he didn't sit down and start immediately, plunge into action, He went to his spiritual master. And he got a validation from his spiritual master. And Narad Muni not just giving a validation, not Narad Muni is giving such a punch. You know, if you see fifth chapter, sixth chapter of first canto, they are like amazing chapters in first canto itself. It's like the cream in first canto. You know, what a punch Narad Muni is giving. You know, solid. Narad Muni, you know, yeah, swan and crows and no, what a punch. Taseva Hetu, and what a punch Narad Muni is giving. You know, don't worry, even if you know crash down. You know, bhakti crash is also glorious. You know, that's what Narad Muni is telling. You know, you see what he's telling. Don't worry of a crash. You know, again, you know, the crash of bhakti is a glorious thing. You know, so. So that's the point. So Narad Muni, what a point. Then Narad Muni is telling about his own personal life and how he became Narada, you know, the great Acharya. So all of that is very powerful. Now it's okay. When the Vyasadeva auto-propelled engine, why always, why he had to do this? What is this? So this is sincerity. This is dedication. Is it not? So it's not that bhakti means okay. The moment I get inspiration, like that, I will just leave all everything, sadhana card, everything, reporting this, that, nothing, and all that. No. Then that is then we are going into PDS actually. So we have to remember this actually, you know. Then we are going into PDS. So therefore it is said actually one should be very seriously take instructions, very seriously taken. The more just like sometimes it is said, okay, sometimes devotees, okay, my spiritual master is not going to be there all the time, what to do? Oh, when he is there, actually take very nice, so much that auto propellant starts, like that. Actually, it's not auto propellant, it's inner dependence actually. And auto propellant is coming from continuous inner dependence actually. Continuous inner dependence. So basically that which is external is getting internalized. That submission which is externally